Third store shopping of the day. Get all of these here. Oh. I never thought I'd say this, but Foxnex isn't letting me spend enough gold. Hey everyone, DJ Loy here. And so a couple things that I forgot about yesterday is I forgot to show you my starting TCP before I did all this upgrading. Fortunately, I had a screenshot already prepped. I took earlier in the day when I was also recording how much gold I had gotten to before I started spending. So here it is. This is 3,116,793. And so this starting point, we'll obviously do a before and after and see how far we get along. And then the other thing I missed yesterday was I only shopped in 2 stores. I forgot that. So for me, again, in Tokyo, everything resets at 9 a.m. my time, and then the store resets at 5 p.m. and then 1 a.m. And so some things will reset at midnight, and so that's what I was thinking. And so I ended up shopping at 2 stores and then spending the rest of the money, the rest of the gold, as you saw, was recorded yesterday. And so that's why the video is being recorded and published later, is because of that time difference, and I forgot about this. So, like I said, clearly my Foxnex isn't letting us spend enough, because this is insane. Back over here. So again, comparing to Coulson's over here. So the max I can spend in order to get 5 shards, I'm like right underneath it. I'm at 1.7 million, and 1.8 million is the last I get to get shards. But look at Coulson. I could do 2.1 million, 2.4, 2.8. I could spend more, and I'm needing to spend more. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know. Well, I do know. I'll go in that here in a bit, but this is insane. Again, this is just from buying all gold gear and only gold gear for the past day in the store. And so if this is how things are going, I'm not going to be able to meet my goalposts over here. The wrong one. Well, basically, I'm not going to be able to get everybody in this tier to 60 and 50 and 40 and 30 and 20 and 10. Well, actually, these guys are pretty much already set. Actually, it's up to about here, except for any of the new characters that have been released since Coulson's event. Everybody up to here is pretty much good, except for maybe gear and ability mats, but these are the bulk of that need to actually get leveled up and geared up and everything. But if that's the amount that we're already spending here, I won't be able to get those skull pulses within 65 days, even though, according to this, like I said, that was the wrong tab. According to this, I only need 15 million gold out of the 65 million total. Sorry, that we've been calculating across the 30 days. It's still not going to be enough. So I think I'm going to switch over to a strategy of, okay, I'm going to set my goalposts for all God tier. I'm going to try to get them geared up to 13 and whatever orange gear they require specifically. I'll just be purchasing that. That way I have any gold left over to actually upgrade stuff. All right, we're just going to do the everyone who's not yet 4-star that I can bring to 4-star. And just so that you know why 4-star. Well, because simply that's what you need for Red Star Orb Blitz. So the more characters I can put in that, regardless of power, the better. So that's why for me it's like that's the floor, that's a minimum to get any character start up to. And I know it's not 4 level, but hey, I don't got any shards. He's completely unfarmable. Mega Orb is ridiculous. Perfect. So yeah, and that's all I did was just get 4 characters, 3 or 4 characters to 4-star, 1 character to a level, and another character I think to 3-star. And yeah, that's all I can do for today. This is embarrassing. Okay, so one of my alliance mates actually requested that when the other milestones came out, that I would do the math and figure out just what's going on. I had actually recorded this earlier, but as it's pretty obvious, I wasn't able to get the video up in time, and it was before the reset, before we could see what these milestones for activity would be, and so I'm like, well, might as well just re-record it over again. And so this is how it is. So for energy, this is really, really bad. Only 2 milestones give you shards. So over a 2-day cyclic milestone, you only get 2 shards. That's 1 shard a day maximum. And so this calculation is just some math. So again, we're getting free energy at 1 energy per every 5 minutes, which works out to 12 energy per hour. You multiply that by 48 hours. That's 576 that we're earning, again, across that 2-day milestone. We're also obviously getting the 80 free energy provided you get in during those 2-hour windows to claim it. We're getting that 3 times a day, so multiply it by 2. That's a total of 480 additional bonus energy that we're getting. So that brings up to a total of 1,056 total free energy every 2 days that we earn. And then energy recharges, whether it's the in-game recharges that you can earn through dailies or if it's the power cores. That will be 120 for every recharge. And again, 1,140 is what we're pulling from that. So this is just me tracking for gold. We'll get back to that later. So this is what we're doing for milestone 8. We're day 1, day 2, all the way to day 28. Again, the in-game mail is saying that all these Symbiote Spider-Man shards will disappear on 11 March, which therefore, since these are 2 days, this will not. This is 11 March right here. Well, actually, it's more like 10 March. Well, the majority of 11 March. My bad. This is 11 March right here, and so at 5 p.m. server time on this day, this is the last time this will cut off. And so this would go past that. Same with the Alliance activity. That's going to go past that. So that final cycle is going to get cut off. So that's why it's only going to 28 and 27 days, not 30 and 31 days, because they're also started later, how I have it lined up. So again, this is gold, this is energy, and this is activity. And so just to keep math simple, I credited the 2 days worth of gold of what we energy that we earned into the odd number days, and then subtracted the 1,140 required for the milestone from the second day. Now, if there was a negative, you can see in the equation here, I know that obviously 1,056 is lower than 1,140, so that would put us in the negative. There would be a deficit, and so those are the days that I would credit the energy recharge, which would be 120. And so every time it's green, that you see here, this is where you're going to want to get an energy recharge, assuming that you start out at absolute 0 for energy, and this is how it would work out. And so then the numbers you see here in the cell is, okay, you take 1,056, you subtract it by 1,140, as well as add in the 120, and then this is the remainder. So then that is then added to the 1,056 again, and this is what we have to use, and it just goes on from there. And so this is a good quick reference to try to map out, okay, when should I use power chords or recharges? And again, it's all about asset management. But again, unfortunately, it's not enough for the energy milestones. Again, gold, like I complained earlier, I'm not allowed to spend anymore. I can only spend 1.825. Beyond that, I'm not getting any more shards. So I'm locked in at that. And then activity, it's a bit better, but again, this is reliable. I mean, this relies a lot on your alliance. It also took a hit. Again, just like with gold, like this is the maximum, and you do get some rewards if you hit the maximum, not shards. Whereas with energy, the maximum is so far away, and in my opinion, the rewards aren't really worth it. But that's up to you if you want to spend cores to get more energy. And so this is how it's going to break down. If you're only hitting that milestone 6, you're going to only get 9 additional. If your alliance is really active and you're going for that 6 shards every 3 days, that's going to get you to 54 by the end. So how fast will how much will you actually expect to get if you maximize everything from the gold and milestone 13? You can expect to get 150 if you're doing that, again, 1.825 million gold every single day for 30 days. That's how much you'll get. From energy, you'll get 28, and from activity, you'll get 54, which brings you to a grand total of 232 shards completely, which is only 4 stars worth, not even 5 stars. If I'm wrong about that last cycle, this is the calculation right here. Again, it's not really going to make a difference, but the way I'm reading the email, it's that. Again, if you are maxing out, it's going to take you 14 days to unlock. That's what this calculation is here, and that one, and the ones that don't go all the way down. That's what that calculation is. For this one is, okay, what is the bare minimum that I would need to do in order to unlock him before that 30 days is out? So you want to be hitting the 525,000 every single day until day 28, and then getting at least one. You still have to be hitting milestone 8, because that'd be 1 milestone per day would average out. So realistically, 2 milestones per milestone cycle up until day 24, and then you can slack off a bit. And then I'm just assuming more a less active alliance you'll probably be in, because obviously I can't control or predict what type of alliance that you're in. I know my alliance, they're definitely going to be pushing for maximum. We were already getting the maximum of the milestone 19 before the event started, and those milestones 18 and 19 were taken away, so we should be fine on that end as long as we maintain our current rhythm. But again, that's not every alliance. And so yeah, this is pretty horrible. This is just for me. I'm deciding to just track how much extra gold. I'm not counting like campaigns and raids and war, what gold I would get from there, or dailies, obviously. I'm just like, okay, what are the big bonuses? Again, I'm just tracking this more for funsies to see how much I would actually realistically be spending, so that when the next milestone comes around, like, oh, how much can you expect to spend, or how much do you want to save up? Well, we're researching right now. This is the data collection right here. But yeah, these milestones are pretty pathetic. And I think I have a theory of what's going on. I know several people have theories, but here's my theory. Again, if you weren't here a year ago, this time last year is when Dark Dimension 1 and 2 was released. Ultron was, of course, the prize, as he still is at the end of that. And Fox Next really advertised how hard it's going to be, how insane the progression would be, and that you have to have like the best of the best and in order to complete it. But whoever was successful in finally completing both Dark Dimensions and get Ultron, unlock Ultron, that player would have the honor of awarding 100 character shards of any character on the roster to every player in the player base. And so And the way they advertised it, you definitely think that they probably were thinking it would be good, unbeatable for at least 3 months. Widowmaker from Legion of Cabal, he or she, I'm assuming he was he, completed it, and I think in less than 3 weeks. So that really blew them away. At the same time, with the upcoming Captain Marvel movie in March, the first Milestone character release occurred with Captain Marvel being the premier character in that methodology. So it was all brand new and everything, and then people were like, "Oh, how are you going to do this? What do you need?" It was a very guessing time, much like Dark Dimension 3 is right now. And so Widowmaker had a week to decide which character he was going to give, and give 100 shards to everybody, and he decided to be Captain Marvel. And this is right when Captain Marvel was announced to be 100 shard unlock. So I think Fox Next had their projections on how much money that was going to be spent. Because, again, there was no offers. It was just you could only do gold, energy, and activity. That was all you could really do to actually get Captain Marvel shards. You couldn't buy her in any other way, shape, or form, or earn shards any other way. And so I think they had their projections, but then when Widowmaker pushed out the awards for everybody for 100 Captain Marvel, of course, Fox made sure to change that so that you didn't get all 100 on one day. There was a whole calendar event, and Fox Next is going to Fox Next, right? So I think that really messed up their projections, and they were really upset about that. Obviously, a lot of the Dolphins who were preparing to spend for her, I guess, decided not to. And you look at the offers right now, you might be able to get 1 million gold if you spend $20 on gold, and you get 5 shards. But if you buy the offer for 50, you are guaranteed 55 shards, as well as drops in Black Suit Spidey's orb, which will guarantee you at least 6 shards for a drop. So, yeah, it's a no-brainer. But that's not how it's been before, children. This is how it was in the old days. Coulson also, again, he was up to a 180 unlock. I think that Fox Next was like, okay, obviously Captain Marvel was released with 100 and low projections, but now we're looking at Agent Coulson and 180, and I think that they were, again, using that as like, okay, this is how it should really go, because nobody is getting Coulson outside of these milestones. This is the only way. No offers, just milestones. No Widowmaker giving everybody 100 shards, just milestones. And so everybody had to do milestones, and I'm guessing the Krakens and the Whales did not meet the projections, because, again, it's RNG on top of RNG, and if you're a smart consumer, why would you why would you pay to double your RNG? So I think they realized that their projections were inaccurate, and they were actually losing money by making sure that everything was strictly milestones and not giving offers. Now they are giving offers, and they're pushing you with these horrible milestones to buy those offers. And I guarantee you that this was all set up well before the boycott. The boycott then came, again, Symbiote Spidey was a 180 shard unlock. He was a 4-star unlock. We saw it. But then as soon as he's in the game, they dropped him back down to 100. We saw the update. I think what happened is, again, they had this prepared before the block. This was in the boycott, and this is what they were going to go with. But then when that started and it wasn't looking like it was going to let up anytime soon, and it still isn't, they're like, okay, let's drop it down to 100 so that people actually have a possibility. So yeah, this is targeting hoarders like me, because this is a lot of gold and just sinking into this for very, very little reward ratio-wise. It's pathetic. And again, really pushing people to buy the rewards. I think they're really counting on the smaller whales and the dolphins that aren't a part of the boycott, that are I know I've been seeing a lot online that people are spending specifically to boycott the boycott, if you will. But yeah, this is the shady business that actually the boycott is calling out. And if you read their posts, like, yeah, this doesn't help the free to play. This hurts the free to play. This is only for the Uber spenders. But that's the disappointment that this whole setup is. Again, I'll continue to track my goal and probably open orbs. We'll see if I'll need orbs later or not. But yeah, that's all I have for now. If you have any questions, let me know.